Feel victory lane, this whole group. 3, 2, 1.
As we're wrapping up in Arkansas, in typical garage shop, Vance Kirshner, labware fashion, we decide to go somewhere else. We go down to Alexander City, Alabama. Wellborn Muscle Car Museum's there, and what's inside? The original Bobby Isaac number 71 Dodge Daytona.
That is probably the most iconic wing car in NASCAR history.
Remembering that time period is a way of understanding that the men and the machines from that time period were extraordinary.
I mean, I studied Harry Hyde's pictures in my sleep for 20 years, and I feel, why do anything much different than he did? We tweaked a few little things just because we had a little bit more opportunity because we were hanging a body, not building a street car into a race car. I feel if Harry saw what we built and what he built, I think he'd be proud of it.
And that Dodge Daytona, that Ford Torino, the Plymouth Superbirds, they're iconic cars. You know, they're in Hollywood movies. I mean, you know, think about it. You know, and that Dodge Daytona was the predecessor that Bobby Isaac drove. And it was on our first Glory Road. We were so glad to be able to get a winged car and to get that winged car.
Hey guys, real quick, if I can have you all gather over here by the door. Like, hey, let's do this right. So the guys from the garage shop and Vance and the rest of them get there, and we had it set up to do something pretty cool.
Well, but it wasn't just sitting there. That was one of the things that was so cool about it. You know, we hear a car start, and the door came up and he drove it out. So the fact that it was not just the static thing that was sitting in a museum, but that it still runs.
You can see in Aaron's face, not want to say solemn, but kind of like poignant. Like he was looking at that car as more than just a car. It was bringing back a flood of emotions and memories for him.
The feeling of, wow, this is so amazing. We have this car. We're gonna go race that car. You know, they're the same. You know,
that is f***ing cool. Holy crap!
You know, when they opened that door and when you got to see the real car that Bobby drove, and the car that we poured our whole heart and soul in, and all the people that were there. You know, all the crew members, it's a lot for me, and it still is.
This is a magical moment, and everything we've done leading up to this point is all about this car.
Because I have so many good memories with Goldie and Junior and the whole family. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. It's still hard. It's hard for me to grasp.
No, come on, we want you to, they all want you to get in.
With a little persuasion, let's say, I said, Aaron.
Get in, man, you deserve to get in that thing.
He gave me a look that was probably like, I'm not gonna get a Christmas card, but he got in the car.
it's one thing to look at a race car from the outside. It's a whole nother perspective and feeling when you're sitting in it.
A little bit different inside there than yours, huh?
It's amazing.
Aaron gets in the car. As he's sitting there, he puts his hands on the wheel, puts his head in his hands, rubs his face, and he starts crying because it meant that much to him and all of us.
He's keeping Bobby's memory alive. That's what he's doing.
You idolize, I guess, a man that you've never met, through people and stories, and it becomes legendary in your mind. And when you get to sit in the seat that he sat in, it means a lot.
It's more than pretty cool.
How's it feel sitting there?
If they did so much for me. If it wasn't for his family, none of these guys would be here.
I think it was really important for Aaron to get in that car because what he would have been thinking was, boy, what Bobby Isaac did with this rudimentary, setup, if you will, compared to what they have in the modern cars, it had to just blow him away. It put him back in time when Bobby Isaac got out of it, And so I think that's what really made it necessary for him to connect the new car and the old car.
It sunk into the point where, I sat there and I saw all the guys, around the car, that not only did we accomplish our goal, but it meant the world to everybody that was there.
That day, I saw a side of Aaron Brown I'd never seen before, because he was very emotional, and usually he's, the tough, gruff, rub some dirt on it, nobody cares. That day, there was a side of him that a lot of us saw. I realized that what we do is very important to him, and the fact that we did it successfully meant a lot to him.
You're trying to make everybody that was ever associated with that car proud of what you're doing. And you're so focused on all the details, you kind of lose track of the emotional thing. And even when we were at Arkansas and we got to drive the car the first time, that was cool and it was neat, but really the most emotional thing for me was to see those two cars. And I think it all hit home at the same time, and I think it did for Vance too.
That is so cool.
Thanks.
That is so cool. Oh my God.
Oh, that's just.
Obviously, it's one thing to have an idea, it's another thing to bring it to life.
You did it right when you honored this.
Aaron's one of a kind like Bobby was.
At that point in time, everything made sense.
All of that was very emotional for Aaron, and because obviously that was a big part of his life.
I don't know what to say.
I know, exactly.
Aaron communicated what he wanted to do, and he made it happen.
I think we did exactly what we set out to do, which was take it a little bit farther than they had because we have a little bit newer technology, but the cars aren't that different.
It's perfect. Words can't express it. It's just unbelievable. They're so freaking close. It's unbelievable. These are clones. They're clones,
Yeah, sure.
It's not, I sort of feels like that. No.
And they're meeting for the first time.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah. Hey, who are you? Who are you, man?
Which one's which?
My whole vision was, yeah, we could have done all this crazy stuff, but then when you get outside of that box, what's the point? You might as well build a streamliner.
Well, it's not the same car then.
Right, it's pointless.
These are the same cars. They are the same cars.
Just a lot of memories to me, the family and how close I was with them, and Junior Setzer and Goldie and Johnny and Wayne Baumgartner, and just, I remember when I first started racing, sitting there just listening to those guys talk about this, and it even takes me back to my dad looking at these, when there were street cars sitting covered in snow in a parking lot, so it's been a long time coming.